Guys, we are here with none other than Art the Clown. Art, how has Scarefest been for you? This gets bigger and bigger every year, Art. Is this what you expected? Look at it, have a good time tonight? Have a killer time, Art. Danielle, with respect to your status as a Scream Queen, I want to call out your great work in comedies and action films, specifically your role in 1991's The Last Boy Scout. Do you have any, when you look back on that, do you have any fond memories?
Oh my God. I had no idea how lucky I was to do a movie that was that cool with Tony Scott and Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans, and I just loved Damon. And Bruce kind of punked me a little bit, but I think that was like the father-daughter character sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I had an amazing time. I love Tony Scott. Still was my favorite director until he passed.
He's an amazing director. Now, you once shared your favorite meal to cook is brisket. Danielle, what's the secret to making good brisket?
Patience, time, love, like any good food, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, your podcast, Talk Scary to Me, wildly popular, one podcast host to another. Do you have a favorite guest that you've encountered?
Oh, God. Honestly, the best guests and the most fun we've had have been our live shows because they're not recorded anymore.
Live shows, yeah, like there's
one tonight.
Tonight. That's
so
the
they've
last
always
one.
been the most fun as guests because the guests they go wild.
Yeah, random. You don't know
and no one's recording anything, and we're not airing them, so the stuff that happens in the lives stays in the lives. So those are always the most fun.
Danielle, it's been a pleasure.
Nice.
Great to see you again.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
We are here with the legendary Michael Berryman. One day you're a florist, and the next, George Powell discovers you, and you're in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Can you tell me, how does this happen?
Well, actually, when I left college in 1972, I moved back to Santa Monica, my hometown, and I wasn't really a florist. I rented a little cottage in Venice Beach, and a friend of mine had plants that she sold. So I went in with half of the rent for her, and then we had the local artists would put stuff on consignment. That's how that happened. Now, across the street from where our shop was, there was a very famous antique store. Egyptian antiquities and stuff like that. So one night there was a special invitation-only sale, and we're talking Rolls Royces and Bentleys showing up. So we're just hanging out, and my friend said, "Could you bring some of your palm trees and plants and make our place look kind of homey?" So we did. Well, that night I met one of the owner's father. That was George Powell. War of the Worlds, Journey to the Center of the Earth, George Powell. So we had a conversation, and he looks at me and he goes like this, "Are you an actor?" And I go, "No, I'm not an actor." "Well, what's your point?" And he goes, "I'm doing a movie and you look the part." I go, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." So I worked one day, made a couple $100, went to, it was Doc Savage, the man of bronze, and I got in the union. I worked one day at the Harold Lloyd's estate. We had fun, got it all done, and I figured that was it.
You have a solo photo op with Doug Bradley. This is your last call.
Now, Michael, fans of the 1994 film The Crow often lament the absence of a very popular character called the Skull Cowboy, but you did in fact play the part in the film, which was ultimately removed for the storyline. Can you tell us a little bit about playing that part? Because it's such a pivotal thing in the comics.
Well, yes, the Skull Cowboy actually, in real life, he and his beloved had been murdered. And he had the opportunity, by the Crow actually summoned him from the grave, just like I summoned Brandon Lee out of the grave.
Yeah.
Because I arrived with the Crow. So it was the same thing that I tell Brandon that is left out of the film, but we did film it. Kill the ones that killed you both, and if you go beyond that, you will not be reunited with your beloved. So the Skull Cowboy found other people in peril, and he couldn't just not help them, and guess what happened? He's forever in the netherworld. So that's a pivotal part of of the story that is not in the final cut. But we did film the footage where I summoned Brandon out of the grave. Mm-hmm. We had all that. And he got shot the day before I was to fly back and spend 2 weeks with Brandon and myself.
Man. If we could talk about another performance, William Glunt's 1981's Deadly Blessing. This is your second time working with Wes Craven. Any fond memories from that film?
Yes. We filmed in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of Sharon Stone's first movies.
Oh, that's right, Sharon Stone.
My girlfriend at the time was a Texas blonde, athletic and a lot of legs. I was just a real sweetheart. And she didn't like the idea of being around all these hussies. So I was getting my work done. It was great working with Wes again. Mm-hmm. And the film was wonderful to work on, but some of the other actresses showed up in a place where we were hanging out as a tent. Mm-hmm. And she had one of them had a water bottle, and she looking at me, and she goes, "Could you open this for me, please?" Now my girlfriend has her hand on my thigh, and I feel the claws, and I'm thinking, I have to say the right thing, or I'm going to get in trouble here. So what I did was I said, "Well, you have to snap it like you're wringing the neck of a chicken." I got points for that.
Good point. Michael, after portraying some truly iconic characters in horror and sci-fi, is there a favorite or one you're most proud of?
In horror or sci-fi?
Yeah, or your throughout your illustrious career.
Well, for comedy, it's Smoking in the Boys' Room, Motley Crue.
Has to be the Motley Crue. Yeah.
As far as a character, you think he's a scary guy. He's really a guardian angel. The X-Files.
Yes.
Probably. Let's see. Well, okay. For special effects, practical, there is a movie called The Evil Within, the only film made by Andrew Getty of the Getty family. Andrew had graduated from USC School of Film. He took his entire fortune and put it into the movie. It stars Sean Patrick Flannery, Deanna Myers, Fred Kohler, and I play a cadaver. I bring nightmares.
Okay.
All the effects are practical.
Yeah.
Practical.
That's the best kind.
There's an opening sequence where Dennis is talking. You hear his voice, and he goes, "He's here. That necrotic flesh with tungsten bones. This is going to be a bad night." Now the camera's from the perspective of the bed, looking out toward the corner of the room. In the shadow is a rocking chair, and I'm just all skin, just a body. I get up. I get on the bed. I turn Fred on his stomach. His face is facing the camera. Mm-hmm. I take a rolled up zipper with needles, and I start to attach it all the way down his back. I unzip his body. I climb inside of it, and I exit the room. No CGI.
Unbelievable. That's such a great film.
The Evil Within it. You can get it on Amazon, $10 all day long. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Andrew passed away when we finally finished the film.
Okay. So, Michael, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. I hope Scarefest has been a great experience for you, and we can't wait to see you at the next con.
I remember the last one, and it's great to be home with friends and family. And oh my goodness, you got to get a picture.
Oh,
of that.
This guy's crazy. We got him already.
Nice. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now this is a normal day in the life of Scarefest.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. Good job. Hey, it's Jeff with the Film By Podcast. We are here with Zach Galligan. Zach, great to see you, sir. When it comes to interacting with your fans,
yes,
do you prefer large events like this or the smaller, intimate cons?
Well, intimacy is kind of what you make it. I mean, you could be at a big place and then you can still have a nice interaction with people one-on-one. You know, if you take the time to do so, there's just more people and more stuff going on and it just gets a little crazy, but you just have to stay focused, that's all. It's 6 of one, half dozen of another.
During production on Waxwork 2,
okay.
Is it true you did most of your own stunts?
On Waxwork 2, yeah, I did most of my own stunts. They weren't really that difficult, but there were, there was like a lot of falls, and and probably the most difficult sequence was the sword fighting sequence with Alexander Goodenough, the late great Alexander Goodenough. And so so I did. Actually, I mean, I really did most of the stunts by myself out of necessity. It wasn't like the biggest budget movie ever. So if I could do it myself, that would save the production some money.
We spoke with Danielle Harris yesterday. She said she was kind of starstruck working with you on Hatchet 3. How was it working with Danielle?
Well, the funny thing that happened on Hatchet 3 was Danielle wouldn't talk to me. So we would do these scenes, and then she'd just go off somewhere. And I was like, did I offend her? Like, I didn't really understand what was going on. And we did the entire production. She never said a word to me. So the movie's over, and I'm at the Lake Pontchartrain Hotel in New Orleans, where we shot the Hatchet 3 out in the bayou. And they're like, Zach, you ready to go to the airport? And I'm like, sure. So I go down to the airport, and I get into the back seat of the car. And the only person in the car is Danielle. So now we haven't spoken to each other the entire, 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I get in and we sit down next to each other, and it's super awkward. And I think I turned to her and said something like, you on Delta or something like that? She's like, yep. There's a long silence, and she goes, I'm going to have to apologize to you. And she told me the whole thing about how she met me at a convention in Indianapolis, 2008, and I didn't recognize her because she just waited online like anybody else. And I wasn't expecting to see people online, so I was probably just so busy signing. And she said that she was really she said she was kind of messed up that I didn't recognize her from her work and stuff like that. She felt really bad, and she just didn't really know what to say to me, so she didn't say anything. So anyway, we started talking, and that's 13 years later, and now we're friends. But yeah, that's how it started. I was convinced that somehow I did something to offend her, but she's just nervous, I guess.
I love it. Zach, one last question. You did some voice work for Gremlins Secret of the Mogwai.
Yeah.
How close are we to seeing you in a third Gremlins movie? There's been a lot of talk.
Well, I think we're a lot closer now than we've ever been. Chris Columbus just did an interview maybe 3 weeks ago where he said he's really hard at work writing the third Gremlins, but that he feels the real weight of expectations, Yeah. He says there's so much nostalgia and positive feelings tied up in the Gremlins franchise that they can't just throw anything out there.
Oh, absolutely.
They want it. So I believe the front of the article said it has to be perfect, and that's what his feeling is like. I think he and Steven feel like if they're going to do a Gremlins 3, it's got to nail it. It's got to be like a solid A-, A+ movie. It's got to kill it.
Yeah.
It's got to be really good. It's got to be like Beetlejuice, or Up. It's got to be really good. So I think they're really taking their time and brainstorming it, so it's the best possible sequel it can be.
Fantastic. Zach, we want to thank you, and glad to see you at Scarefest. We look forward to seeing more of you.
Thanks, bud.